Welcome to Learning with the Boys and Girls Club. Today we're going to learn about potassium. Come on in and let's have a great time.
And now, ASAP Science presents the elements of the periodic table.
There's hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen all through the air with oxygen so you can breathe, and fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the signs, sodium for salty times,
Magnesium,
aluminium, silicon,
phosphorus,
then sulfur, chlorine, then argon,
potassium,
and calcium so you'll grow strong,
scandium,
titanium, vanadium, and chromium, and manganese. This is the periodic table, noble gases stable, halogens and alkyl react aggressively. Each period will see new outer shells while electrons are added, moving to the right. Iron is the 26th, and cobalt, nickel coins you get, copper, zinc, and gallium, germanium, and arsenic, selenium, and bromine film, while krypton helps light up your room, rubidium, and strontium, then yttrium, zirconium,
niobium,
molybdenum, technetium,
ruthenium,
rhodium, palladium,
silverware,
then cadmium and indium,
tin cans,
antimony, then tellurium, and iodine, and xenon, and then cesium, and barium is 56, and this is where the table splits, where lanthanides have just begun, lanthanum, cerium, and praseodymium. Neodymium's next to promethium, then 62, samarium, europium, gadolinium, and terbium, dysprosium, holmium, erbium, thulium, ytterbium, lutetium, hafnium, tantalum, tungsten, then we're on to rhenium, osmium, and iridium, platinum, gold to make you rich till you grow old, mercury to tell you when it's really cold, thallium, and lead, the bismuth for your tummy,
polonium,
astatine would not be yummy,
radon,
francium will last a little time,
radium,
then actinize at 89. This is the periodic table, noble gases stable, halogens and alkali react aggressively. Each period will see new outer shells while electrons are to the right. Actinium, thorium, protactinium, uranium, neptunium, plutonium, americium, curium, berkelium, californium, isonium, fermium, and olevium, nobelium, lawrencium, rutherfordium, wm, sprigium, boreum, hesium, meitnerium, dubsnidium, rhenium, copernicium, nihonium, flerovium, moscovium, livermorium, tennessine, and oganesson, and then we're done.
So what do you need today? You need your thinking cap. You need a pencil, a paper, some index cards if you have them, markers if you have them, and if you have a lap book or a notebook for taking notes, that would be great too, but that's not necessary either. So let's go on in and have a great time. What are we going to learn today? Our objectives are to understand that potassium is an element, K, on the periodic table. Potassium is a soft metal. Potassium's atomic number is 19. Potassium is in the first column of the periodic table, which means that its outer shell has 1 electron for bonding. 1 because it's in the first column. We'll explain more of that later. Potassium's atomic weight is 39.09. Potassium is one of the most active of the metals, and potassium is important in the human body. We'll explain all of that later, but that's what we plan on learning today. Can you locate potassium on the periodic table? Pause the video and come back and join us. If you said first column, 4th row, you are correct. Very good. These cards have been shuffled. They are not exactly as they are on the periodic table. Can you find potassium? Pause the video. Yes, correct. Potassium is K, Number 19 can also be found in bananas. Now it's your turn to try. Pause the video after the next slide, and I want you to name a couple of items on at least 5 index cards or sheets of paper. You can tear the pieces of paper into 5 pieces. That's fine to save paper. I want you to write K for potassium on 5 index cards or 5 little sheets of paper. And then I want you to think about where potassium might be found. Research or think of at least 5 things that have potassium in them. Pause the video and then come back and join us. Okay, if you said spinach like Popeye eats, foods like avocado, banana, potatoes, beans, citrus juices, fish, and even batteries, then you were correct. Potassium has an atomic weight of 39.098, which rounds down to 39. Potassium has the symbol of K, atomic number 19, atomic mass of 40. It has 19 protons, 21 neutrons, and 19 electrons. Potassium has the symbol of K, as we've discussed. Potassium is a soft metal. Potassium's atomic number is 19. Potassium is in the first column of the periodic table, so that means the outer shell has 1 electron for bonding. Potassium is one of the most active of the metals. Potassium is a soft, waxy, silver-white metal. Potassium does not occur free in nature, and it is always bound to compounds with other elements, so it must be separated. Potassium's atomic weight is 39.0. Potassium is important in the human body to conduct nerve impulses. They cause muscle contraction and must maintain the body's fluid. Potassium can be found in batteries and bananas. The body does not store potassium, and low potassium levels can be linked to arthritis, thyroid dysfunction, and chronic fatigue syndrome. So all you really need to know is that the body needs potassium. Potassium is used to make potassium nitrate. Potassium nitrate is used as explosive in fireworks, a red color. What are some other uses? The best demand for potassium compounds is in fertilizers. Potassium is used for food, bananas, grapes, vegetables, fruits of all kinds. Potassium facts, fertilizer, and batteries. Potassium is used in the main ingredient in potash, which is used to make soap and glass. Fruits contain potassium, which have heart benefits. Potassium is important because it helps the human body and has great benefits. Potassium, sodium, and chlorine were all discovered by Humphrey Davy within a few weeks of time in 1807. He found potassium while separating melted potash from wood ashes. He named it after potash potassium, which gave it the K symbol for Kalium, which is a German meaning. Kalium, the name named after the element in Germany, in Scandinavia. Potassium metal was the first isolated in 1807 by Sir Humphrey Davy. Potassium is in group 1. It is an alkali metal. It was discovered in 1807 by Humphrey Davy. Potassium is the 8th most abundant element in the Earth's crust. Potassium has 2.6% of the Earth's crust. Okay, now that we've learned about all of these elements, now it's your turn to try. Would you like to try? What we'd like for you to do is pause the video after each question and you try. If you do not know the answer, rewind the video and come back after you've learned each one, okay? Now it's your turn. Remember to pause the video after each question. Potassium is a soft what? Pause the video and come back to us and we'll go over the answer. If you said metal, you are correct. Potassium is a soft metal. Let's move on. Potassium's atomic number is 19. Potassium's atomic number is 19. Potassium is the what column of the periodic table, so that means its outer shell has this many electrons available for bonding. Pause the video. Potassium is in the first column of the periodic table, so that means its outer shell has 1 electron for bonding. Very good. Potassium's atomic weight is, if you said potassium's atomic weight is 39.09, you are correct. Let's move on. Potassium is one of the most what of the metals? Active. Potassium is one of the most active of the metals. Very good. Let's move on. Potassium is important in the what to conduct impulses, cause muscle contraction, and maintain the body's fluid balance. If you said potassium is important in the human body to conduct nerve impulses, cause muscle contraction, and maintain the body's fluid balance, you are correct. Let's move on. Potassium is the main ingredient in potash, which is used to make what and what? If you said soap and glass, you are correct. Potassium is the main ingredient in potash, which is used to make soap and glass. Very good. Potassium is used to make potassium nitrate, which is used as an explosive and colors what? A red color. If you said fireworks, you are correct. Potassium is used to make potassium nitrate, which is used as an explosive and colors fireworks a red color. Potassium is the 8th most abundant element in the, pause the video. If you said potassium is the 8th most abundant element in the Earth's crust, you are correct. Let's move on. Potassium, sodium, and chlorine were all discovered by who? Within a few weeks of time in 1807. Pause the video. If you said Humphrey Davy, you were correct. Potassium, sodium, and chlorine were all discovered by Humphrey Davy within a few weeks in time in 1807.
And now, ASAP Science presents the elements of the periodic table.
There's hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen all through the air with oxygen so you can breathe, and fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the sign, sodium for salty times,
Magnesium,
aluminium, silicon,
phosphorus,
then sulfur, chlorine, then argon,
potassium,
and calcium so you'll grow strong,
scandium,
titanium, vanadium, and chromium, and manganese. This is the periodic table, noble gases stable, halogens and alkyl react aggressively. Each period will see new outer shells while electrons are added moving to the right. Iron is the 26th, then cobalt, nickel coins you get. Copper, zinc, and gallium, germanium, and arsenic. Selenium and bromine, film, while krypton helps light up your room. Rubidium and strontium, then yttrium, zirconium,
niobium,
molybdenum, technetium,
ruthenium,
rhodium, palladium,
silverware,
then cadmium and indium,
tin cans,
antimony, then tellurium, and iodine, and xenon, and then cesium, and barium is 56, and this is where the table splits, where lanthanides have just begun. Lanthanum, cerium, and praseodymium. Neodymium's next to promethium, then 62. Samarium, europium, gadolinium, and terbium, dysprosium, holmium, erbium, thulium, ytterbium, lutetium. Hafnium, tantalum, tungsten, then we're on to rhenium, osmium, and iridium, platinum, gold to make you rich till you grow old, mercury to tell you when it's really cold,
thallium,
and lead, the bismuth for your tummy,
polonium,
astatine would not be yummy,
radon,
francium will last a little time,
radium,
then actinides at 89. This is the periodic table, noble gases stable, halogens and alkali react aggressively. Each period will see new outer shells will electrons are to the right. Actinium, thorium, protactinium, uranium, neptunium, plutonium, americium, curium, berkelium, californium, isonium, fermium, and olevium, nobelium, lawrencium, rutherfordium, wm, supergium, borium, hesium, pneumonium, dubsidium, rocanium, copernicium, nihonium, flerovium, moscovium, livermorium, tennessine, and organesson, and then we're done.
Look for other lessons, such as how heat changes the temperature of objects, cool periodic table, real life stuff, what Silly Putty was really for, and why it all really matters. See you soon.